focused around well, boosting the sector of horticulture. We see that this is a very important and fastly growing sector, which can be very interesting for young people, starting entrepreneurs to well find a job, but especially also for the existing farmers in and around Masi to also boost their businesses by working together, by looking for maybe different types of partnerships. Well, many of the things that I already see also on the course topics and activities. So the whole topic of entrepreneurship is a very important subject in this whole project. So I am well, very curious about all the great ideas and things that you've worked on the past weeks. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you for your introduction. So we are part of the bigger larger project. And what we did is we have a 5 days workshop. But since the travel restrictions are in place, we could not go there. So we were very dependent because I'm teaching now from the Netherlands and Casper is stationed in Ghana. And he's making use of the Kumasi Business Incubator, so their facilities, and they're also partnering our project. So big thank you to Samuel and Isaac for helping us a lot with this course activities. The modules, we had 5 days, so this is the 5th day. It's a very, let's say, pressure cooker style course. The participants, they only had 4 full days to get classes, and we handled all these subjects that are listed in the screen. So you see 14 modules. We started with the problem analysis and the value chain analysis and the teamwork, and then we looked at who is your customer, what does the market look like, and then we started to send the students also to the field. They actually had to do validation and talk to people that are the experts in the field. And then we thought about what can we offer to that people, what is the value proposition, how do we market it, who are the competitors, are there any other people already doing this, what we would like to do, and how can we compete with them or maybe collaborate with them. And then we looked at the pricing and the business model, so how do the revenue streams flow and how do we organize actually to make this value proposition get implemented. Then we had a guest lecture by my colleague Otto Kroesen, who is also here part of the panel, about partnerships and negotiation. So how can you cope with partners and how do you, what comes with that? And then we had a few tools on bookkeeping, and today we did the planning and we were preparing the presentations. And with that we had a lot of help from Stella, who is aerospace student at TU Delft and is very good in visualizing some concepts. And now we have arrived at the final pitch session, which is the platform for the students to show what they've been doing, what they've been working on, and how they present that to some potential investors. So they would like to have the audience as if you're an investor. What they will be having 8 minutes pitch, and then we have 7 minutes time for Q&A. And we have 5 groups in total, so you can expect 5 teams, and they will introduce themselves. I will not do that for them. And well, with Casper in Ghana, I would like to conclude. I'm a teacher, by the way, in entrepreneurship and creation of Delft Center for Entrepreneurship. And you can see Fatima is also here, who's my colleague, and also they also work at the Delft Center for Entrepreneurship. Do I miss anything, Casper? Or can we start with the team?
No,
I saw Frank also online.
Yes, sorry, yes, of course. Frank, yes. Frank is the CEO of Tahoe, which I use also throughout the course as an example of an interesting entrepreneurial concept because they started as a company. They are still working on adding value to the whole value chain of farmers, also in Ghana. I don't know if Frank is still there, but oh yeah, great. And he's also a professor at the KUST in Delft. Am I right, Frank?
Well, so I'm the lecturer.
Indeed, yes. So he's very knowledgeable about both the Ghanaian and the Dutch context here, and especially on water engineering.
In Kenya.
In Kenya, yes, of course. If any of the team want to expand to Kenya, then you can ask Frank for advice.
We have the man for it, that's for sure. I would also just like to say that we have somebody else from TU Delft with us, Fatima Medina. Can we also give her a short introduction, please? Ellen, would you like to do that, or maybe Fatima would
sure,
like?
Yes. So Fatima is also taking part in the Delft Center for Entrepreneurship, like Otto Goedsens doing. So Otto is more focusing on cultural entrepreneurship, and Fatima will be focusing more on the sustainability.
All right. Okay, but then I think we should give it to Group 1 to give the pitch. So I'll just put up a PowerPoint here. Not that one.
Yes, and it might be good to know that all the participants, they are quite diverse with their background, right? So they can be farmer or they are already teaching. What is the diversity among the participants?
Hold on a second.
Yes. That's why I suggest if you are a host, if you can record the proceedings.
I will do that, yes.
Okay.
Yes, good one. Yeah.
Okay.
If anybody has a problem with that, let me know.
Mute. All right, so if everybody can still hear me and see the screen, please. Okay, all right. So Group 1, if you can introduce yourselves.
Yes, so you have 80 minutes when you start, and we will be very strict. I will tell you when it is time to round up your presentation. Good luck, first
Thank you.
team.
Thank you. Good afternoon once again. This is Group 1 presenting on our pitch. Adanko Pest Control, Champion Rabbits for Pest Resistance. My group members are Lawrence, Atta, Daniel. Okay, first of all, we are a local company based in Ghana, obviously, and then our primary aim is to produce an organic pesticide to help predominantly tomato farmers with a white fly menace, which we realized from our survey in the form of questionnaire administration. First of all, from our survey, we realized that white flies destroyed almost 30% of tomato produce from the farmers. And even though there were some spots of remedy available, it was unavailable to them at specific times. We also had concerns of chemical residue in our crops. What the customer seeks to gain from our product is a very effective pest control method in the form of a locally produced organic pesticide, which is also environmentally friendly. And then lastly, affordable as compared to other remedies. And these are key points from our survey. We realize that 94% of farmers are open to new methods of controlling whiteflies. Over 70% of pesticides are imported, hence the high prices as compared to ours. 67% of tomato farmers have had over 30% of their yields lost to whiteflies, that is, if not controlled. This is accompanying overview. We seek to control the whitefly menace with an organic and environmentally friendly pesticide, which will help farmers achieve maximum yields.
Our financial budget. Initially, we are planning to start with $20,000, which would help to meet all our current market demand, including machinery, acquisition, labor salaries, and raw materials. Our first cost is setting up a laboratory. That's our first cost. And our variable cost is transportation and salaries. So then our cash inflows. So our cash inflows will be based on our pesticide sales. So the pesticides when we sell, that will be our cash inflows. And consultancy services. Like when a farmer is in need of anything, when the farmer calls us, then we will go to the farmer's farm and give the farmer an advice and assist the farmer in a diverse angles. So that will also be an alternative way of our cash inflows. So here brings to the end of our presentation on pest control, specifically on tomato. Thank you.
This is the end of our slide. Thank you.
Nice, well done. You are very, very well in time because you still have 5 or 4 minutes remaining. So if there is any questions from the audience, you have some extra time for that to answer in the Q&A session. So who would like to give it a go? Who would like to give a question?
I would like to ask a question.
Okay, what would you like to know?
So what's the composition of the organic pesticides? What's the active ingredient? Because they do statements and also verification.
Can you speak in the camera if you answer that question? Speak in the mic, sorry.
They are purely from herbal preparations.
Can you be specific? What's herbal? For leaves? What is it about?
You can come a bit closer
We have
we don't hear you.
we have neem leaves, moringa, and then some others we don't know the local names for. But the laboratory technicians working for us have them as secret ingredients of their own, who are partners.
Okay.
Have you also checked our pesticides in the market?
At the moment, we're concentrating on the prevention of whiteflies, which the pesticides are laced with plant nutrients.
All right. Can people still hear me? Something happened to the mic. Ellen, can you hear me?
Okay. So what is the price that the competition is asking?
We actually asking 2/3 of what we have with the chemical compositions on the market. That is between 12 and 15 cities. We have chemicals more than that imported.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Yes. I haven't been convinced about the markets. For instance, you need the budget for specific products that is coming to the market. So there is a cost to promotion, how to get the market, farmers to get to know side effects and all, toxic levels and all that. And we need to know if we're investing $20,000, how long will it take you to break even? What's the market? And I mean, issues about the market have not been dealt with. Transportation and salaries obviously will not be the only cost from that angle. So we need better particulars of the market. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Would you like to comment on that?
Actually, marketing activities will have its own budget, which everything is included in the 20,000 that we took, and then gave those as examples of our expenditures. However, we as a team will also be working to do direct marketing to the farmers. Which is included in our salaries.
Yes, of course, Otto.
How many customers do you need to break even? And how do you take care of the distribution? Is that also taken into account?
Yes, because we will be working directly with the farmers. We are starting visiting the farmers, knowing their problems, and selling our products to them directly.
Yeah, so you sell them directly?
Directly.
But how many customers do you need to earn back that investment? So how much income do you need? And how much will you get from each farmer that you are going to contact directly?
We would definitely need about let's say 50,000 farmers to work with across the country.
Well, the point is, if you can show that will work, then it's not a problem, as I see. And whenever you reach any investor, you spend that 20,000.
Yes, I think if I might add a little bit here to our group.
Because the investor wants to know, when am I going to earn back my money?
Yeah, and I think we have spoken about that, but I think our calculations didn't make it into the presentation because we couldn't verify it yet. So I think this is something the group has definitely spent time on. We also have to remember we have had 5 working days for the project, so of course these these calculations are a little bit hypothetical if they were not verifiable in the field immediately. So I think we're dealing with a pest, a very specific pest of white flies, and that we would need to actually visit quite a few farmers outside of Kumasi to verify this. And that was not
I
within
think
the
this will be a
scope.
great next step indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my point is that that's why you should remember that currently tomato is a seasonal crop. It is not all year round. It's a season, maybe 2 seasons in a year. Therefore, we need to be very particular about the markets and when you can break even and recover the money. That's why we need to spend more time on maintenance of the markets.
Yeah. Thank you, Sam. That's definitely true. I think that's the next step the group would take after this course if they go along with the ideas developed so far.
Yeah, and please take in consideration that this is only for the practice. So we are here to criticize your business ideas and help you with that. So it's free feedback for you as an entrepreneurial team. So it's not bad that you don't have all the figures yet, but it's definitely something that should be happening in the coming period before you launch, just to make sure that you don't go bankrupt. We want to diminish the risk, and therefore we calculate what is the market look like.
Yes.
Is there any other questions? Yes.
Very clear.
Yes.
So thanks a lot for the nice presentation and your ideas. Of course, time did not allow for you to go into details. But I'm going to ask a question about the pain and gain. Because as an investor, or I see myself as a farmer, I would like to have a pesticide that we have the pest not being too resistant to. The reason why we have a lot of pesticides being imported is that after 1 year or 2 years, now we see that the pests become resilient, or let's say resistant to this. How can you assure us that you don't have to change your product in the next 2 years?
Yeah, we are working hand in hand as part of our program. We are working hand in hand with laboratories to be researching and then reworking on the components so as to work on its resilience.
Thank you so much. So please give them one more.
Yes. In our local language, the name Anamho means rabbits. So why would you talk about pests and make the name appear like rabbits, only for you to struggle to explain that it's about tomatoes? Why would you choose a name of the nation?
We just appreciate and then like the two ear standing of the rabbit. That's what attracted, and we think the farmers would identify themselves to read very fast.
Then you can use that as a logo, but the name Adamko sounds anybody's ears as rabbits, and they may not even, tomato farmer may not even look at it. So think about it.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was the first presentation, so please have
we are grateful.
Thank you very much. Banco.
May I invite the second team to start setting up the presentations?
Yes, Eva, your group 2, right? Yeah. Will you come over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think you can start.
Okay, we are team 2, and our page is about African rice. African rice is a name that we gave to um, a new brand that we would, should we have funding, we'll be able to start it up. And we came up with the name Africa Rice because there is Africa, and we wanted to promote that locally produced rice is healthy, it is nutritious, and everybody should consider taking locally produced rice. So our motto is eat organic, eat healthy. Okay, so before we came up with the solution with this particular project, we did a market survey on local rice consumption in Ghana. And we looked at the challenges that face consumers, the pains that they go through when they decide to go in for a local rice. Now, most of the people said that they had challenges with the quality. They normally find gravels or what we call small stones in the rice whenever they buy it. And then sometimes the packaging is very poor and it's not readily available for a particular brand. Let's say you want Nanes Rice, which is one of the major rice companies that we have. And because of these challenges, they did not really go in for the local rice. And they also prefer to go in for the foreign one because they are being perfumed, and then they are being some additives that makes it taste far better than that of the local one. But then they also acknowledge the fact that the local rice has high nutrition. And so if they are going to consider nutrition, then they'll consider going in for, they'll go in for the local rice. So the problem is low patronage of local rice due to low quality and poor packaging. That was one of the major problems that we found on the market, according to our survey, that the quality is low, and then they do not package it well, and so many a time there is insect infestation. Sometimes they find weevils in the rice whenever they go to buy the rice.
Let me go back for why.
This is not the money I'm supposed to give to them.
Technical challenges?
Yeah, technical challenges. Please, we would like to
Can you go through the manual? No, we'll just wait for you to send it to me. Give me the right one.
Yes, the title,
Yes, we have some technical challenges here. It seems that she wanted to have a newer version of the presentation. So we have a sort of cliffhanger.
Yes, we do. We'll wait for the team.
For this team.
Yeah, this shouldn't take more than 30 seconds. And, then we should be online again. Oh, poor Eva, you were doing really well. You can come back to it.
He already had me. I wanted to buy it. So who else wanted to buy the local rice?
Everybody will sell to everybody.
Yay.
We'll sell to all of you.
And this should mean that once we know exactly what we want to talk about, the slide of the scenario.
We're still on here. Sorry, now we're on. Yeah. You have to go to the drive. Just make sure it's not YouTube. Almost there. Or you can take the slides from the top and then just go through the ones you've already done.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll take it to the problem which we said earlier, that low patronage of local rice due to low quality and then poor packaging on the markets. And so we realizing this particular challenge on the market, we decided that, okay, we are going to find a solution to it. And for our solution, we want to grow the best variety of rice that is being developed by the CSIR, Center for Scientific and Industrial Research. They normally do research on rice, and then they bring out some hybrids and then some of the best varieties. We would go in for the best variety, grow it organically, process it, and then package it using ultra-modern new state-of-the-art technology so that we can get the best results out of it. Because we are a startup, we will not be able to acquire our own land, buy our own land. And so we are planning on hiring land, and then we do the farming on it. And then from there, we process it into a finished product. And some of our major competitors, Roland Rice is one of our major competitors. According to the survey, from the results that we got from the survey, most people said that they went in for Roland Rice. They patronized Roland Rice. They said it was tasty, but then some also said that there were challenges with Roland Rice because they found a little bit of gravels in it. And then that of Nanes Rice, which is also being produced by AgroKings, also dominated the survey. Most people said, okay, they go in for Nanes Rice. So to us, these are our major competitors, And because we are now coming on the market, our strategy is that when we come, we are going to promote the organic nature of our food, rice that we are going to produce. We will promote that one more so that it will be a leading product on the market. So our target markets are wholesalers, restaurants, and then schools. In Ghana, our government supports schools with a project called the School Feeding Program. So most of the schools in Ghana cook for their students. They give free food to their students, and then the government pays for it. So we are targeting schools that we are going to provide rice. Our rice will be distributed to them so that they can also start patronizing locally produced rice right from basic school so they get to their tertiary level. And our sales forecast is that somewhere in the first year, we are looking at producing about 300,000 Ghana cedis. Then the second year, we are looking at, for the first 3 years, we are not really looking at a major kind of growth or net excessive profit from the beginning. But then we believe that with number of years that we will be in the industry, it will grow. So for the second, you're looking at total sales of about 400,000, making a profit of 48,000. And then for the third year, you're looking at 500,000, making a net profit of about 60,000. So our revenue model, our model is a B2B, business to business, and our pricing is such that for every 1 kg of rice, we are going to price that 5 to 50 pesos. Then a 25 kg of rice goes for 120, a 5 kg of rice goes for 25 cedis, and then a 50 kg of rice will go for 230 cedis. This pricing came as a result of assuming that the costs and everything involved and everything that we have done in the producing of the rice, we will still be able to make profits even when we price it at these particular figures. So our required funding is 100,000 US dollars because of the processing that it will have to go through, the machinery that we'll have to get before being able to get the best results. Our impact potential for this particular project is that it's going to create about 250 jobs, both direct and indirectly. Looking at farmers, and we are also looking at other people like the vendors. It's going to create jobs for them, and people who are into distribution, the distributors will also get jobs to also do. Then we are looking at better nutritional benefits for people who consume the rice, because it is a whole rice and it is contains fiber and it's not so polished. The benefits is enormous, and therefore people will benefit nutritionally when it comes to our rice. Then protect the environment, because we are going organically. We are going to avoid the use of chemicals, and so the environment is protected. That way, future generations can also benefit from it. So the team is the team. Myself, Eva Kane Abuzu. There is we have Mr. Richard K. Miss Eva Ohinewa Gwedu, and then Mr. Charles Amo Isua. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Are there any questions? Please unmute yourself and.
Yes, thank you very much for your presentation. I really like it. All the storyline that you follow up with the slides. And I wanted to know, how are you going to trace or to address the organic rice? Are you going to hire the land, and how will you do it through the I don't know, the harvesting, post-harvesting? Are you going to do all the supply chain by your own, or you will be doing with partners in the where the company is located?
or the startup is located?
Okay, so for the start, we are looking at growing it ourselves, and so I said earlier in the presentation that we are going to hire land because going to buy a land will mean that there is so much financial burden that will come on us, and so we are planning on hiring land instead of going to buy it. And then talking about partnerships, because right now we haven't thought of partnerships, but then should we start and then we realize that okay, we are going to scale up and then we need to partner some other organizations that provide machinery and all that, we would have to consider that as well. But then we are looking at producing it everything ourselves, growing it and then processing it, and then we are not going to distribute it ourselves. We are looking at contacting distribution companies who would come for it and then distribute it to the market.
Okay. And then
Thank you. Yes, Sam, please go ahead.
Yeah, Ipa.
Yeah.
Treasury bills in Ghana is approximately 14%.
Uh-huh.
Treasury bills is risk-free, it's 14%.
Okay.
And you take 500,000 or $100,000, and for the 3 years, you are making 12%. Does it make economic sense?
No, it is just an assumption that we just did. It's not it's not like we just did that just to show that like this is what should we come on the real thing itself, we would adjust some things somewhere. But then it is in our mind that when we are doing a business plan, we should have a financial forecast. What are we looking at in the next 3 years? What are we looking at in the
But
next 2
as an investor, I'd rather put my money in treasury bills than to give it to you because you can't make returns more than the zero risk. This is a risk one. So if you're giving me even 16 for the first year, 18 and 21 for the third year, I know there's some growth. At 12, 12, 12, suggest that the money is not yours, so you don't want to grow it.
Okay, yes.
From Sam and also from.
Thank you for the advice, Sam, and also for your question, Fatima. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, so I'll follow up on the first question with regards to the investments. Because now you say your business model is B2B. Meanwhile, you say because of the government school B2B program, there is some market. So I presume that you mentioned that you would look at the government as one of your customers. We all know that when government buys something from you, it takes almost 3 years, sometimes for you to get your money. So it means that if the government will be a larger customer, let me put it that way, in terms of percentage, that means that we run the risk of losing our investments just within 1 year. So it means that the company will collapse even before it starts taking. Secondly, you also talked about the fact that you will hire land. In fact, as part of your design or business plan, you have to be specific. Where you I think I can have land that is suitable. Because when you want to grow rice, you cannot grow rice anywhere. You have abiotic factors, you have biotic factors that affect the growth of rice. So where you plan to have this land, even if you have to hire it, we have the right environmental practice in terms of the rainfall, temperature, salinity, the soil conditions for us to grow this. We've heard of big rice schemes that have collapsed because they simply could not provide the water that was required to the rice growing. So how are you going to do that?
Okay, so pertaining to the land, we should have included it either in the slides or when I was presenting, I should have said something about it. We are looking at communities that are in the north that are very good. The soil is good for rice production, and not only that place, we're also looking at places like Asutare, and then that is in the Greater Accra region, and then we are looking at Apipe in the Volta region. These are communities that are very places that local rice production is very successful there, and then we will look at acquiring our lands over there. And as you spoke about the investment side, I think we will have to reconsider that. It was just an oversight, and we'll work on we'll work on that. Thank you very much.
I also have a question. When I looked at the market survey, you could really see that one of the sort of unique points of your competition is the packaging. So you also focused on that. How much does the packaging machine, the like high tech thing you want to buy with your investment money, how much does it cost? Do you have any idea?
I think they are somewhere around $50,000. It depends on the company and then also the brand that you are going for. But then they are quite expensive, very expensive.
Okay, so half of the money that I would be investing would go into buy machine. Because have you also thought about working together with those farmers that are already producing rice and simply see if you can have a collaboration with them to see if the rice that they're producing you can provide the packaging? Or why did you decide to go for hiring land and producing rice yourself as well? Why not focus on packaging?
Okay, the reason is that farmers cannot be trusted when it comes to issues with organic farming, especially. Sometimes you may go in contract with them, and you may give them all the necessary things that they require. But then, at a point when they realize that they are going to lose, maybe they didn't do something right, and they are going to lose their produce, they would go in for a chemical and then spray it without your knowledge. But then you go and then you go for the product, the rice, you take it to the lab, and then you realize that there is residues of chemicals in it, and that can also affect your market. And also, some farmers too may not really meet your requirements, and so in order for you to be able to check all those, for us to be able to check all these problems that may come up, it's better that we do it ourselves, and then we keep our eye on it.
All right, thank you for all your questions and the answers. Let's give them one more round of applause, and then we go to if they're ready. Group number 3.
Yes, I think group number 3 is ready.
Yes, we leave up. Please take time to stretch it. I see Cohen's stretching.
This is group number 3. we are presenting on tomatoes.
Yeah, speak up.
Yeah, we are presenting on tomato paste, processing our tomatoes into paste. The problem, farmers grow over 510,000 metric tons of tomatoes every year. Half of their harvest is lost before reaching the market, and the remaining 50% is subjected to significant downward pressure on price due to common guilt in market and perishable nature of the crop. Farmers, who are among most Ghanaians' financially valuable population, bear the burden of both post-harvest losses and this price uncertainty. So most of them smallholder farmers lack access to constant, consistent, large markets for their produce, rendering them unable to consistently make a profit, and they don't have incentive. And also, the implication, most of the implication is to food security, and this will also affect food global prices, where to skip and drive up their price of imports. Ghana will struggle to feed its population. Now, the solution: tomato pulp embeds farmers' production within a supportive, self-contained agribusiness ecosystem focused on local production, processing, distribution, and farming practices improvement. Now, tomato pulp will operate in 3 business lines. We will focus on farmers, and what we are going to do with the farmers is to create nuclear groups among the farmers and supply them with necessary logistics. Now, also transport. Going on transport, we will also try to take the produce from the actual, which is from the farm, to then we transport them straight to the processing center. So that is. And how would we do all these things? We process it into tomato paste. Now, most of tomato paste in Ghana is being made using plastics, and our country is recycling has become a problem with plastics. So we are going to use paper bags, and using the paper bags to package our tomato paste, so that we can reduce the waste management in our country. And also, we will make sure that our tomato paste is affordable and quality, unlike the existing ones. And also, we will focus on the open markets, the shopping malls, and the retailers. And we also, in our branding strategy, we will launch it on using Facebook, Twitter, sharing stories of our farmers on a global and a regular basis to other people to know how our farmers are also performing. Okay, so that is the end of that.
Thank you so much. Big clap for you. I'm curious, who would like to buy it? Any questions from the audience? Well, I was wondering, what is the difference between plastic packaging and paper packaging? Is there a different shelf life, for instance? Does it differ?
Sorry, Ellen, could you repeat the question, please, for us?
So, sorry, I heard that you wanted to package the tomato paste in paper instead of plastic. So, what is the difference between plastic and paper?
Yeah, it's because the plastic will last longer.
Okay, can you come close to the camera?
Like,
Oh, sorry, Mike.
What's the difference between the paper and the plastic?
The difference between the because the plastic cannot it can last longer and it will be difficult for you to like recycle it as compared to the power.
Do you prefer to use paper or plastic? Paper. Paper. Yes. Because of recycling. Okay. And then was that answer enough to your question?
Sorry, I couldn't really hear it. It was a bit soft.
You asked about what is the difference between the plastic and the paper one, and I said the plastic will last longer, and with that it will affect with every cycle. But when you go by with the paper one, it is easy to like recycle it so that it will make things easier for you. And even when you throw it at the refuse dump, like, I think the paper one gets rotten as early as possible than the plastic. So there is a vast difference between.
Thank you. Any other question?
Yes, can I ask a question, Madam?
Yes.
So one of the, or I say the loopholes or the pitfalls is that as startups would like to do a lot of things. Sometimes it's good to want to do a lot of things, but often it is nicer to really focus, and then that's why I think I would go and just left to teach to find players who can come along you for you to be able to meet your market demands. Now you are looking at advisory services. There are a number of advisory services already in place. You are looking at transportation. What is the big gap in transportation that you are trying to bridge? Then you're also talking about processes. So you're trying to do three different things, all which involves a lot of resources and know-how, and there are a lot of competition. What pain are you relieving? Or what is the benefit of the product that you are providing now? Apart from the fact that it's environmental friendly. A lot of people would like to have environmental friendly, and a lot of resources. You don't care whether it's environmental friendly or not. You just want to make it. It is nice, and I just want it. So, what is really the value you are adding to the market?
Yeah, because we want the transportation aspects to come in a form of a limited manner. We will try to use social media platforms too, so that when people are ready for the product, we go to them at a particular point in time, than rather going around and doing that kind of market aspect. So like it will be like all the products will be there when someone is in need of it. You can also try and give the person the product through a social media platform. You can do online business. You can sell your product online, so that even people will even try to book you. Like when it comes to social media online, especially in Ghana here, like people can order it and they will pay for the transportation aspect. So with that one, it will save you some kind of money without you paying for the transportation. The person who is coming to buy the product, when you see the product is of a good quality, you will try and take the cost of the price for the transportation.
I don't have a problem with that. I can understand that you want to have a platform like Peloton, which is used for all sort of goods and services. But have you thought about the investment that you need to do that? Because, for example, if you're going to use motorbikes, how many motorbikes do you need to do that sort of logistics? How many cars do you need? Where are you concentrating? Are you doing it in Accra? Are you doing it in Kumasi? Are you doing it only in the north to start with? So when you set up a plan, the plan can be made for a start, but you narrow it down, get it working, and then you scale up. So you always start by So now if you say social media platform, the things that if I'm in Tamale, I should be able to order for the things. When I order for Tamale, who's going to your agent who's going to supply this to the client who's in Tamale? Have you thought about all these things?
Yeah, in order to reduce the cost, like you can go to the fast station and try and give the items to the person so that they can transport it to the person in the Tamale without paying that extra cost as compared to you yourself be going with the product. So it will reduce the transportation cost.
Yes, Sam.
Yes. The lecturer said they need to repackage their whole presentation. One, they said, make a big plan and food business. So, manufacturing stores in terms of that is and the pink before time, time date, and all that. You need to look at how in that the quality that quality something that Africa is used to. So because of the quantity they get for a household, we don't know the size that you want to put in paper, whether the paper can be public and be able to, I mean, there are a lot of things we don't know yet. And if you have to line the paper, some plastic things to prevent leakages, that is another expensive. The first one is also more expensive than those on the market. So we need more information, competition, and how we want to promote this. Social media people are not the real numbers of multiples in the country. That's a very small market. How are we going to get our women cooking in the restaurants wayside? To patronize? Thank you.
Thank you for that feedback and also from Frank. Something to note down, I think, for you to work on in the coming period, definitely, to look what are the food regulations and how about the quality when you do this packaging in the paper. For now, I think thank you so much for sharing your first ideas. And one more round of applause for this group because they have the courage to present such a mistake and continue to the next group number 4.
Thank you guys. All right, group 4. Cool. Thank you so much. All right, one moment, please, guys. Thank you for staying with us as we get ready. I believe
we have 2 more presentations to go.
Yes.
I'm very excited to hear.
So let me continue sharing my screen with you. And Seems to be a slight issue with my PowerPoint at this moment. It's not responding. Let's try again. Okay. All right. Okay, ready for you. Who's doing the talking?
All right, I will give the floor to you. 8 minutes.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, we are ready.
Good luck. Yes.
Good afternoon. This is group 4. We are presenting to you mobile soil testing laboratory. And our business need is mass net solution.
Okay, it seems we have another small technical problem here with going to the next slide. Okay, I think we're good to go now. Let me just reshare. Yeah, so the same issue came again after I do that. Sorry about this, guys. Working on it. And then I come. So it seems I have an issue with PowerPoint and it's sharing the screen. Let me give it one more try. Huh? Helen, you know what I think I'll do if it's possible? I'll send the file to you and then maybe you can see if you can share the screen and press the button to go to the slides and then we can speak from here. Is that okay with you, Ellen? It freezes when I share screen. Then
You can also share the PowerPoint with me and then I do the sharing of the screen.
Yeah.
You just put it in the group chat and I can download it from there.
Yeah. All right, that's done. See you in a personal message, Ellen.
I'm sure there's no problem with the farm. Have a pen, guys.
Yes, I have it. So whenever you're ready, and just tell me when I push the next slide, yes?
Okay. So I would like you to go to the next slide.
Next slide.
Okay. So from our market research, this is the problem that we came about that we want to solve with our business model. We realize that farmers invest high in soil amendments, yet output of produce is low, and also there are difficulty in having access to local soil analysis laboratory by customers. And lastly, we find out that those who are able to have access to soil lab at their local areas, they are delayed in access to resource by the research centers. So these are the few problems that we find out that we want to use our business model to curb it. Please, can you go to the next slide? All right. So this is our product and the service. Mass Tech Solution intend to create the following assistant to farm to help curb customers' constraints in dealing with soil testing and analysis. First, on-field soil diagnosis and resource interpretation to customers. And we also want to offer affordable soil amendment consultancy to our customers. And lastly, we will guide our customers in implementation of the right soil amendment input materials to ensure higher output at a low cost to the consumers. This next slide. Okay. So based on the business model, this is how we have planned to get our income. Thus, our firm intend to generate income through service provided to farmers and also derive extra income from agro-liquid companies as we stand as intermediary to recommend the right input to be purchased by farmers. Please, next slide. So, this is the cost analysis we have assumed. Generally, soil testing costs 10 CD to 20 CD per sample. That is what our current soil research centers are charging for testing soil samples. And it is depend on the item being tested for, meaning the nutrient that the farmer or the customer want to do his or her analysis on, and also based on the condition of the sample. And at this stage, I would like to explain a bit charging for soil testing for micronutrients. We assume testing for nitrate and potassium, phosphorus will be 10 CD, but testing for heavy metals will be charged on 20 CD per each test. I would like you to go to the next slide. Okay, this is the benefit cost of tools and equipment that will be used to carry out the project. We have a tool called Rapid Test 4-Way 188 test kit. This test kit does a lot of work when it comes to soil analysis and amendment. And from sources, we got to
realize that the cost of that machine is 250 cedis per one, and also microfield 1/8 machine also costs 4,997. And also, as we want our business model to be a mobile one, we would like to use a tricycle with a container, and which the tricycle costs 12,000, and the fabrication that we will like making the container to put our equipment and tools in will cost extra 3,000, and the total of the whole cost will be 20,253 Ghana cedis. Please go to the next slide. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for this presentation.
You're welcome.
Are there any questions from the audience?
Yes. First, I would like to congratulate, because I like the idea that you become with as a solution provider, not only thinking as a manufacturer or final delivering a final product, but as a solution provider for the supply chain in the agribusiness sector. And I was not, maybe it wasn't clear, or maybe it's a question that you can remark. Your customer validation, it was focused on B2B formula, or are you B2C? I mean, which are your final customers, and how do you validate this idea during the course?
We are a B2C. What we realize is that our traditional soil analysis labs are in the urban centers. So as a farmer, you need to take your soil sample from the farm in the rural areas to those labs for analysis to be done. So our aim is to create that avenue. So we are sending our equipment to the field to be able to test and run the analysis on the field, interpret and give the results to our farmers right on the field. So we are moving from a B to we are moving from B to C model.
I had a question. How many farmers can you serve per week? By the way, also interesting, yes, basically you create an ecosystem by having so many different techniques. This one does play a central contribution. But how many customers can you serve per week?
Come again? Otto, please, the question again.
How many customers can you serve per week?
Per week.
So how many tests can you conduct per week? Considering the price and the investment.
We are looking at just 30 customers in a week.
How many?
30.
80.
30.
And how many people work for you? Because you have to go there now. They don't come to you.
Yes. So it's only 2 people that use the tricycle around to do that job.
I can't calculate that quickly, but 20 CD per test and 20,000 euro CDs for investment. That takes 2,000 customers before you have return on investment. And then you still didn't pay salaries. That's quite a number.
If we include fuel cost and our estimates for labor cost, we should be looking at 846 farmers to be able to cover that cost.
I didn't get that precise. How many farmers per week?
330.
830.
330.
30. So you're saying 30 customers a week and 20 Ghana cedis for one test, so that makes it 600 cedis income.
We can't just assume that, because if we are saying just 20 cedis, it means probably the farmer is just running a test, maybe just to know the nitrogen content in the soil. But we are assuming, our assumption is at least a farmer with access to do about 3 samples.
Yeah. And how much will it cost for you to do that?
That would be 60 cedis.
6?
Yes. 60.
For one test?
No, for 3. The assumption is we come to your farm. You will not access to just test nitrogen and leave your farm. Our assumption is we are dealing with, when we visit your farm, we are testing about 3 elements before leaving. That will give us like 60 cedis on your field, the farm.
But the question was, what about the reagents that you're going to use? So your cost, including your profit, is 20 cedis. What is the actual cost to you? You know, because now you're talking about 30 samples, let's say, or 30 farmers. I don't see a farmer say take 3 different locations at my site, maybe in just one location.
Yes.
Let's say they do a maximum of 3 tests, then you get a 60. If you really multiply that for a year, let's assume every week you get a 30, then you're getting about 28,000. You know, but that pays for your principal, so that is fine. But what about your reagents?
The rapid test.
It's just something for the next step then, to do that calculation. Thank you for that question.
Thank you.
My question is, what is the mega planting season in Ghana?
Yes.
Yeah.
What come was the land?
Yes. Yeah.
Why did I plan the land and want to plant? Now, why is it growing? Only 2 people will get it. So your fitness, that you can close up there, I don't think you are going to get close to it.
Okay.
You tell them before they plant.
Yes.
And probably when they plant doesn't do well, then they want to test. But if you are getting modification, people are using the same plant and they use something, they will not need your services. So when everything is realistic, then that, and get again, and then that your target maybe different targets you don't do better. You may recommend that what you're doing now is a
Okay. Thank you very much for the contribution.
Thank you so much, yes. And one more random applause for this group. Number 5, are you around?
Yes, group number 5 is on their way over. Thank you, group 4. I think we have sent the file to you, Ellen. For group number 5, they shared it with you already, correct? Okay. All right.
All right, please start whenever you're ready. And I'm sorry for all the visitors that we are a bit behind schedule, so in 5 minutes we would close, but I think we have to stay 15 minutes more, so I hope you have the time. And also, thank you so much for being here and witnessing these champions. US, please.
Good afternoon. We are Team 5 and we are QWebs or webs. And our core values are service, efficiency, and consistency. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, roughly a third of all food produced globally is lost. About 14% of it is lost from harvesting to retail, and this accounts for a lot of waste. This accounts for a lot of waste like methane and methane going into the atmosphere. So the significant quantities are also wasted in retail and consumption levels. Food loss stems from bad farming practices and very slow promotion of harvested produce, and then transportation delays. But after a comprehensive needs assessment of post-harvest losses on 5 farms, we realized that farmers do not have a problem with their yield, but insufficient market demand and low returns on their investment. Please, can we go to the next slide? Okay, so this is a video giving us more information about the complaints and plights of some farmers. So this is Mr. Japon. He is a tomato farmer in Akumadan. He has worked for about 17 years with a fair experience about problems in farming, and he has actually suffered a huge loss over a period of 3 years, and he's showing his plight by complaining in the video. Also, Mamefua is a commercial food vendor who sells in Zini Community School in the Greater Accra region. She complains of delivery delays on her vegetable orders every week, and this affects her sales because people have to wait on her to finish cooking. Now she wants to receive consistent supplies of quality vegetables every week. Our solution, please can we go to the next slide? Okay, our solution is Webs or QWebs, as you would say. QWeb is a platform that connects smallholder farmers to markets. We can be likened to middlemen, but we offer more. We provide a steady range of market prices for all farm produce. We want to bridge the market gap between farmers everywhere and end users and make in-time deliveries. Can we go to the next slide? Our target market cuts across commercial food vendors, restaurants, hotels, small-scale farmers, canteens, and food processing companies. We employ a sustainable chain that links sourcing of raw materials from packaging, from farm production to packaging, and finally delivering our products in time. Can we move to the next slide? So we reach our customers through our social media platforms, small business outlets, shopping centers, and food trucks. The next slide. So I spoke briefly about our key activities, but aside the major core activities, we have volunteer services. Now there are issues with quantifying our volunteer services, so upstream services can be used as an overall term for the volunteer service, but we have not placed a price on the volunteer service because some farmers might need it and some might not need, but some might also need quality farm inputs seeds, fertilizers, and other things they need for their farming processes. And then we have lead generation, the packaging service, and tracing. Now, in between these points, storage and transportation occurs, but as a startup, we do not have the funds to go into these sectors, so we'd rather prefer to outsource the transportation and warehousing. Later on, if we are able to raise enough funds, we can venture into storage and transportation. The next slide. Tracing also is on the part of we QFs because some customers might give feedback on a certain product and want the same product. So we take it upon ourselves to find a specific produce and get it to them on time. Now looking at our revenue projections, on the average, a carrot farmer has a yield of 25 kg bags of carrots after a growing season. That's about 3 months after planting. And he sells it at a cost of 60 Ghana cedis per bag and a selling price. So meaning after we take it from the farmer, we'll sell it to the end user or the commercial food vendor at 100 Ghana cedis. We'll make 40 Ghana cedis on each bag. Now, looking at the farmer, he producing 20 bags every growing season for just carrots. We should earn 800 Ghana cedis for carrots only from one farmer. If we are starting with 5 farmers, we could earn up to 4,000 cedis for just carrots. And there are a variety of vegetables commercial food vendors going for. Please, now we go to the next slide. Before my thank you comes, we are looking at a very big impact. And we would want to value our impact based on 3 Ps: people, planet, and then looking at profit too. As we discussed previously, our revenue streams will not be necessarily have to deal with money, but we are going to look at the social side, the ecological side, and the profit aspect. So for the ecological aspect, we are looking at encouraging better farming, sustainable farming practices, and we want to reduce our carbon footprint in the environment by encouraging our customers to employ better ways of farming. We want to take climate action. There are better ways of farming now instead of felling more trees to create more space for farming. And then for our people, we want to empower farmers with simple skills. We mentioned bookkeeping. It's something a lot of farmers do, but they do not keep record of their activities, so we want to do that. And we'll be generating money from sales and training. So as part of our office, even though we are providing steady prices, we want to offer the opportunities for farmers to earn extra skills, which would be done by strategic partners like Farmerland, where they could provide hands-on practical knowledge for farmers to use for their farming processes. And we are for SDG 8 and 13 because we want to advance economic growth and also to ensure sustainable farming practices. So in the end, we are QWebs, and we are providing low-income earners and the unemployed with a stable source of income to advance economic growth. Thank you.
When are you going to start with the business?
As early as possible, even if it's tomorrow. Yes, we are working on crowdfunding a little bit, so possibly we could start something. But if we are open to investment, I mean, if you are ready to give us money, we are up for it. So we'll just talk after today's meeting.
Very good, thank you. Well, if I were to invest in your company, what could I get in return then?
Okay, so this. Okay, what would you gain in the end? Okay, profits. And we will have to discuss on how we split the profits, but mostly profits and then maybe in kind of vegetables. I mean, it depends on how yes, the agreements we make.
We're also thinking of if we set up our logistics system, use the network whenever you need to move goods from one place to another.
Can I ask a question?
Thank you. Yes, of course. What's up?
You try to replace the middleman
Yes.
by creating a platform, isn't it? But you not only connect people, it's a very smart information system, so that could be a very good contribution to counter waste and losses. But you also need to people, you also bring it from one person to the other person. Yeah, that much about logistics and your costs and your benefit.
Okay.
For the logistics system, we plan to start small because we don't really have enough funds to set up a logistics system. So that's step 2 of the whole process. When we get the basics running, the logistics system is supposed to provide. We have our own warehousing systems. We have our own transport systems and delivery. So going for the produce, repackaging, and then delivering it to our customers. But then in that, we're also looking to go international. So we first want to secure the domestic markets before we move outside. Yes, but with that, we need to go little by little because we're a startup. We can't just go all boom. It's a bit trouble if you do that. So we plan step by step with guidance from our able team and then our coordinators and then mentors so that we can move on. But it's all in the plan. It's step by step. But that's the future. We want to go international. But they were not just thinking the domestic market, even moving out of vegetables into flowers and other products. So just a peek into the future as we see it.
And to add on to what she said, for the revenue streams, farmers require different things. So if we are providing bookkeeping and services or training for a specific farmer B might not necessarily need that. So we'd have to customize each service for a specific farmer. So we generate money based on their demands, but in general, we want to provide a steady price, a range of prices, not just one. Yes,
a range of
prices, so that they could have the opportunity to still make their cuts. And then the in-person training, like getting people on board to train them. So that would probably come as a fee, looking at the partners we want to bring on board. So as she said, there is a whole lot we could do. And looking at the system we want to build, which is a full chain, we might be earning money at different places. So even if farmers don't want to work with us as marketers, we could still make money at transportation, or we could still make money at warehousing. So it's a plan. But looking at starting now, that's what we have.
Thank you.
Yes. We see that the market is available waiting for you. Before you came to the market, somebody was serving the market. What alternative do you have if the post-harvest loss comes within your domain? If you hold the tomatoes, if you hold products that are not being bought, the storage is up to a certain time, but what is your plan? What value addition can you do? What intermediaries, factories do you have links with that you can supply them the raw materials that are about to go back? Because the market is unpredictable. And you can't assure me that everything you pick from a farmer, you can sell. So what are the alternatives where the post-harvest rods is in your hands? Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for this question. Basically, what we were thinking of or what we seek to do as middlemen is not just to serve the farmers and then say the end consumers. We're also going to serve people who are also within the value chain, that is processors, producers in the value chain. Now, because we didn't mention it, normally for some of them, we're going to recently, Ghana has acquired a few processing companies that are now operating but still under capacity because of raw materials. So in working with farmers, as she said, we're going to tailor our services to each and every farmer. For example, if a farmer has enough land, then he's just going to one thing because that's where he thinks that where the money is, and then we are giving advice. We can also, based on the information system we have, we can suggest various produce to go into or to produce, and in the end, we get it and then supply to these processing companies. Sometimes we're not just keeping the produce ourselves, and then if we're able to establish the packaging subsidiary that we've also intended, we're going to package some of these into finished produce and then semi-finished produce that others can also buy and then use. If not, we just package it in its raw state and then also move it out, ship it out to our customers.
Also, we might.
I think the semi-processed, I'm glad with the semi-processed.
Okay.
Because then you can store for longer times. And then also the processes that, so you have to probably make sure that these elements are well captured in your future presentation.
Yes, thank you too.
Thank you very much, Sam. Is there any other burning questions among the audience?
No, I have a simple suggestion. Don't package, don't store, just be a website for making the connection between the middleman and the customers. That's much more easy for you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir. You see, in as much as we are seeking to
Okay,
make,
closer to the mic.
oh, okay. In as much as we are looking to make profits, mainly from being middlemen, if we can generate more revenue from other aspects of the value chain, we'd like to go into that. But like we said, it's a step-by-step process. We're going to test the market even as we start to see if it's feasible. How feasible is it for us? How economic, how efficient or effective are we going to be able to run the system? If it's not, we're not going to double in it, or we're going to run at a loss. And we are just starting, like we said. We want to make financial profits as much as we want to make social profits and then ecological profits. So we're not just going to go into it because we have the idea. We're going to test it out before we try it. If it works, so be it. If not, then we also take another route. Like I said, water doesn't flow in one direction. If there's an obstacle, it goes around it and finds its way to its destination. That's what we're going to do.
Nice. Yes. Great to hear that you're also flexible and open for this entrepreneurial journey ahead. Thank you so much. So one more random applause for this. We close this session. Thank you all for participating in the course, to all the students. I'm very happy to witness your results, and look forward. I think we should plan a follow-up meeting with each of the groups separately in, let's say, 2 weeks from now, just before Christmas time, to see how do you manage to, now you get a lot of free feedback, how will you manage to integrate that in your business plan? And then you're all here, so I'm not going to say, oh, this is the best team. So I think you all been meeting because you were so courageous to stay here online. And yeah, one more round of applause for coming throughout the whole course and messaging everything, you know?
That's not quite true. But I'd really like to say thank you also to the panel. I think I think after we close down this session, we're going to give everybody here a certificate and we will have a little conversation. Maybe Ellen, you will still be with us for some minutes.
Yes, of course, yes.
To close things down. But I'd just like to say thank you so much to Lindsay, to everybody. Also, of course, for joining us. I think serving the pitch is so crucial to being an entrepreneur and to going out there. I think everybody actually became a bit nervous today. We all overcame it and we all got the criticism we needed. So thank you so much to the whole panel.
Yeah, it was very, very valuable feedback. Great.
Yes, thanks everybody, and also thanks to my colleagues at the Belgian Entrepreneur. I mean, the circumstances are of course a bit strange. We come on see and be there for a couple of weeks and really get into it, and this of course requires a bit more creativity and also maybe a bit more of energy and some technical hiccups sometimes, but well, I'm happy to see what the groups actually did with the research, and I'm very well surprised and proud of all the results. I mean, the whole sort of goal of these entrepreneurial courses is to open your mind and to look at different aspects and well, actually experience that it takes a lot more to be a successful farmer than producing a lot of tomatoes. Making profit out of that is a whole different type of business, and I think, well, during the presentations, we really achieved that sort of way of thinking. So my compliments to everybody that is present today. I'm very happy with this. So thank you.
Thank you for this words. So that is.
I think that's yes. I'll cross over to its profession. I'm very glad that if not at all, we are also getting students who are accepting entrepreneurship. And even if they are not able to do what they are saying they want to do now, they have a thinking capacity to change. Like if I said, if water moves and something crosses it, it changes its direction. It means that they are not bound. I can tell it very different that don't fall in love with your idea. Give room for people to make comments so that you don't get offended and improve it or change it. And I'm sure we are on the path towards getting them that kind of confidence. So we also grateful to the project and the opportunity to be part of it to grow and read about cultural awareness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. That brings me to the one more point that I wanted to offer. Actually, Stella and I we are working on sort of a working group for this course because we have been working on several tools, and we will pull them together in a booklet and then share it with you, and also for you, Samuel.
Thank you very much.
To see what all the participants have been doing.
Yeah.
And indeed, I think those tools that can be applied to any other new idea that comes to your mind in the coming periods. So I hope it enables you to become a more and more entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
I might even ask for that book then.
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Does anybody want to contribute anything here at the end? Any one of you guys, any participants would like to say something? Have you said all you wanted to say?
Maybe a statement in one year from now. I started my business.
Yeah. So we'll. I think me and Samuel will also talk about building a database and Honda's work with, because this is the aim for our exercises also to get a sense of excellence here that will act as an innovation center for agricultural entrepreneurship. So we will be keeping in touch with all of you. Bye, and thank you so much. Bye. Okay, Ellen, you know what? I think I'll put you in the middle of the room, and then you can talk from
I was just lying to the camera and join you just for a few minutes. There's so much. And I'm also going to leave, but it was nice to work with all of you.
Oh, thank you.
So much.
Thank you for your help, Stella. Thank you so much.
You made much nicer all these presentations.
All right. So. Yeah, but if you also have something, should we wait until 7?
Oh, well, it's amazing.
We still have 11 class.
Maybe we can produce stickers, but which says that CUB and then do it all again.
No worries. Yeah, I think you get a bigger view of what's going on if you're playing the views.
I want you to now also think there are people
Where are you doing it?
Oh,
Where are the camera?
I think the camera is here. So Sam, if you will call out the names. Are you with us, Ellen? Can you see Sam?
Go ahead, I'll send you a new link. Go ahead. A new link on WhatsApp.
I'm not sure it's arranged according to groups.
No.
Okay.
So you can move this way.
Okay, so somebody can assist me. Charles, I'm on Asia.
Oh, Kaspa. This way. Please careful, my table.
Okay. All right. Ready? Thank you.
Landscape.
That's what?
Okay, landscape.
A landscape.
Yes.
Okay. Casper? Yes. Thank you. I'm going to zoom in a little bit.
Then you have also here. Fungus.
Okay.
Yame Emmanuel.
Yeah, me. Yes. Thank you. Mr. Alu. Thank you. Or you can take yours off. Yes, please. We all know who sent us. So. Yeah, that's better. Thank you. Okay. Are you taking better pictures than I am? Yeah, I think you are.
If you don't worry.
Eva, wait. Yes, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Kumi, the presenter. Congratulations. Yeah. Nice.
Oh.
Yes. Go.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Mr. Atta. Good. Thank you.
Someone from London. Solomon Abadi. Solomon Abadi.
Oh, he didn't make it.
Okay.
I think.
Someone
Hey. So you signed it and your name is on it. This is a good picture.
You remind me of before. Who gave me some award?
Thank you, sir. So I think we'll keep one for the Solomon.
Yes.
Okay. I don't
Now, Helen can wrap it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can we have a group picture outside? Yes, when we finish, then we can have a group picture. Okay. Ellen, bye. Come and say bye-bye. Thank you, our live audience. Okay, group, come as a group, stand here. Yeah, I mean, please, everybody. Hurry up. We'll first look into that. Yeah, and wave at Ellen in the camera here.
So we'll have a picture with Ellen.
Yes.
Come this way. Come.
Ellen, we're going to put you here. So you can probably see yourself.
Ellen. Okay. Can you see yourself?
You're in a group picture. No, those of you here.
No, I cannot see you.
Oh.
I cannot see you.
Yes. Okay. Some of you are missing. But Helen is coming clear. Ellen, a lot of people are holding you. All right. Okay. Thank you.
All right, we'll send a picture to you.
So we'll take the proper group outside.
Then
Outside.
we'll take one of ourselves outside. I'll leave the
Group.
Let's go out.
Sorry.
Okay, let's go out.
It's okay now.
Let's go. Ellen, you can still watch on YouTube, so.
Ellen, would you like to say something to the guys at the end?
Oh, yeah, of course I can see you on YouTube then. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I have very big.
Okay.
So we take a group picture and come back, or you want? We are on live YouTube, so don't go away. Okay, guys, pictures outside, everybody. Let's go out. Oh, don't worry, I would like to hold it.
Yeah, I think the one we'll take outside will be
Don't worry.
Our boss was holding it. Our boss was holding it.
Mark, join us. I'm coming. Please, I'm still
Relax, don't worry. Go and join the picture. Go, let's go, let's go. Go. Ellen, I hope you still can see us. No, I don't need it. Really. All right. Hey, who's moving? No, you. Can you?
Yeah, can you see on the last?
Yeah, me, I can see everybody. Okay. Sure. All right. I think can see everybody. Okay. All right, I've taken enough pictures. So,
I want to take one without a laptop actually.
Nice, well done. Good work, guys.
Okay, one more.
great. All right. Sure. Should I keep taking?
How many are you? 100 now.
Huh?
Maybe one with all the hands up.
Oh, what are the certificates? All right, go and bring the certificate. No, one person should bring them and then.
Which one?
Oh, they've left. Okay, then.
Okay, sure.
Oh, one person is holding it.
I hope Ellen, you can see me now. I'm here.
Okay, then let's spend some 1 minute to bring them.
One person can collect them. Okay. Yeah. Because if you leave the okay. Oh, just give one to anybody, not to nothing. Just give it out. When you finish, you switch. Come to your position. You are here. Come this way. Okay. All right. Screen.
Away with your certificate, cheese.
Okay.
It's above your head, don't look anywhere his face.
If you cover your face, you will not come in. All right. I think I've taken enough. Okay, wave to Ellen.
Before we all go, I think Ellen just wanted to say a few words.
Okay, so just relax. She's going to say a few words. Okay.
Ellen, the floor is yours.
Can you go back
Can you
so
hear
she
me?
can see?
Yeah. We want to hear just a few words from you. Can you see the guys?
Yes, I can see you all. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Come a bit closer. Come on.
Great. So once more, congratulations to you all for passing this 5 days pressure cooker on farming as an entrepreneur. Thank you. I'm very happy with the results and proud of Eva. I mean, we managed to teach you from a long distance, which of course had some hiccups on the road, but still you persevere and showing that you have the ability to overcome those issues and also to have well, the guts to present in front of an expert jury at such an early stage, because of course things have to develop still and also
We can hear you.
and you're not here at the final stage yet of established entrepreneur, but you will get there, and I'm sure you can take that road. And yeah, I wish you all the best, and I would like to hear from all of you in 2 weeks' time from now. You know, what is the progress? What are your plans for the future? And that we can really make some concrete follow-up appointments to support your entrepreneurial journey as far as we can. So thank you so much, and let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Let's change the agri sector in Ghana and make it more sustainable. To have people have more profits for the farmers and work on the food problem.
Alrighty. Can we give Ellen a round of applause before she?
A vote of thanks from one person. A vote of thanks.
That was our applause to you. I don't know if you could hear it. You leaned over a little bit as if there was the sound coming. Was it loud enough?
A vote of thanks. Eva. Eva is giving us a vote of thanks.
I think there's a delay.
There's a bit of a delay, but thank you so much, and a big applause also for you.
All right. Thank you, Ellen.
Vote of thanks.
Vote of thanks. Oh, okay.
Okay, Ellen, from all of us, the participants, I'd like to say a very big thank you to you and your team. To TU Depth, we are very grateful for this opportunity to learn from you. And we are hoping that whatsoever we have learned, we are going to be great entrepreneurs in Ghana. We are going to change the lives of farmers, and we are going to transform our country. So thank you so much for this opportunity. We are grateful. Bye.
Yes, I can see it. Do you know Adinka?
Oh, they're gone.
Do you know Adinka?
Yeah.
I will send them in the next message.
Okay. All right. Ellen, so we log on for now, right? And we pick up perhaps tomorrow.
That's a lot of tomato.
Where we are?
So now I'm not on YouTube checking. So now you're on live.
Yeah.
Exclusive because now I
I don't know you.
From Holland Green Tech, Simasi.
I'm selling mine. I'll throw everything. What?
Please, when you finish, take me an Isaac.
Hey, you want a picture with me? Check.
You have a foot nose mask. So what's why? You have a nose mask. Oh, gentlemen, please, I beg.
It's Isaac.
Yes.
Ah,
thank you so
why
much.
you exchanging? It's Eva.
The
You are
two,
both Eva.
the two,
Yeah, Eva, come.
the two Evas will not give me pizza.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ladies, you can get rid of your gear.
Oh, really?
No, it doesn't matter.
No.
It's nice.
It just shows priorities.
Okay, please exclusive. I want to.
You want a picture?
Yes.
Right there.
Yeah, let me see now.
Excuse me, let me take my routine for. The routine for is also coming in.
Okay.
I say move away, you are saying. Okay, I'm tired. I'm tired now. I can't take anymore.
There's a mistake.
What is the mistake? Oh, but they put it there for everybody to check. They put it on there. No, he's brought in only one guy. He said Samson. His name arrangement.
Is it? No, I told him I was the one, but maybe he mistaken me.
Another. Come again. Hey.
That. I have to gain admission to this is
What?
for PhD. So I'm looking for any in-country scholarship.
In country. Then apply to GMPC.
Better. Let me.